And hello, everybody. Thank you, and welcome to Days of the Wolf. This is D Wolf coming at you live somewhere in a secret location in the Northwest. It's Saturday, September 1st. We made it to the beginning of the new month in the joyful year of 2018. The topic today. Not a lot of news stories. I'll probably get the news stories later on, but the topic today is a question that I proposed on Facebook. It's a poll that I've done. The poll, I'm setting it up right now. Given a choice, would you prefer to be paid in cryptocurrency, and it could be any cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero coin, or whatever, instead of fiat dollars or rubles or whatever? Why or why not? I only got 8 votes on it so far. I've kind of been going through it. I myself, probably it's pretty obvious. I voted yes. I'd rather be paid in a cryptocurrency first, and then be able to shift that to fiat to deal with incidental bills that just don't accept cryptocurrency. You talk about your utilities, your rent, maybe a car payment, or something like that, going grocery shopping. Everything else stays in the wallet. And it's cryptocurrency, particularly Bitcoin, has been taken, it's been in a bear market lately. So it's like, wow, why would you do that? It's going down. Well, it's going down, but I have faith in the long-term prospect of cryptocurrency, and it's pretty evident to me. I mean, I'll give the reasons why I said yes. I said yes because cryptocurrency compared to the dollar right now, I think, is more stable in the long run. It's going down, and there's been someone on Quora said it's like 75% loss on cryptocurrency, and that is true. It took quite a hit and quite a beating, but it's not just Bitcoin that's going up and down. There's other altcoins as well. Shifting to another altcoin that say is on the rise might be a viable tactic to try to keep the preservation of your wealth. But it always struck me as odd that the dollar is subject to inflation, is subject to eventually being diminished with taxes and with fees for banks that hold your money. As a matter of fact, this morning I was just charged $5 for a service charge fee from the bank just to hold the money, just to hold it. Anyway, it's a lot of complication to hold those digital numbers 1 and 2, and but we're going to charge you $5 every month, unfailingly. If it dips below $0, now we get a service charge on you, $35 or $40, depending on who you're banking with and stuff like that. Every time, and even if it's a negative amount, I have a story where that happened to me when I was a lot earlier in my career. I was working in California, and I had a pretty decent job. It was paying well, but there was a point where the threshold of my balance was just just before payday and stuff. And I'm pretty much of a coffee addict. I like to do the Starbucks thing and stuff like that. So I was swiping the card, getting my Starbucks, my $3 Starbucks, and so I figured I had about at least enough for a couple more Starbucks runs before my paycheck came. But unbeknownst to me, and the banks could say, "Oh, okay, it's your fault for not keeping accurate tabs on your balance." It went down to the negatives, but they continued to allow the charges. So $35, $35, $35. It got up to about $450 negative. I was negative $450. The prices of the coffee were like $3 each. It was the service charges that dipped me below that amount, where the banks were just loving it. Well, yeah, we'll pay for your coffee. It's $35 plus $3 for the coffee. We'll pay for your coffee, and we'll charge an additional $35 as a penalty. Shame on you. You should have known better, but good for us. We're kind of balancing our checkbooks fine. So by the time I got my amount direct deposited and stuff like that, I was $450 in the hole. Unfortunately, I had enough in the direct deposit, to supersede that. But that's an example of the problems with the banking system. I mean, I'm sure everybody's been exposed to that at some point. When you go to a zero, it allows you to go negative, but they'll just charge you for it. So that was a wake-up call then. My significant other had an issue with a coffee shop. She and her partner ran. They went to church together and stuff like that. And they didn't start the business correctly. They did partnerships as opposed to an LLC or something that would have saved them from any particular liability. Her partner abandoned her, and left and stiffed her with the bills. Well, the tax authority from California came and said, hey, you owe taxes on this, baby. Let's see, who can we snag? Well, they didn't snag her partner, who got off scot-free, because her partner never put down her social security number or all her banking information. But unfortunately, my significant other, someone had to sign at some point. She had her social security number and the banking account that was attached to that. And she had a little over $2,000. All of it was wiped out. No due process, no warning or anything like that. It was down to 1 penny. So, little problem with that. Now, the reason why I'm telling this story is kind of alludes to the reason why I voted yes. I'd prefer to be paid in cryptocurrency first before I shifted over to fiat currency and pushed it into my bank account, because I have control of the funds. If I tried to utilize my cryptocurrency wallet and there was a receptive vendor that said, yeah, I take cryptocurrency, the cost for this cup of coffee is $3. So whatever the fraction of your Bitcoin or whatever that constitutes for $3, I could utilize my wallet, pay for it. If I have that amount in my wallet, it's paid for. If I do not have that amount in my wallet, the transaction is not, it gets canceled. It doesn't work. Here we go. There's no negative fees. It just doesn't happen, So, yeah, it's an efficient way of dealing with your wealth. So, so far, like I said, only 8 votes happen. One of my friends, they said no. They said, I choose no, simply for the fact that society is not yet set up efficiently to use cryptocurrency. And that is true. That is true. Society as a whole, it's just too complicated. Now, for most geeks, it's not. But for my mom or my dad, would probably not be able to kind of work it, because there's just not there's not good UIs set up for it. I mean, there are good UIs as far as I'm concerned, but it's not me that the mass has to appeal to. It has to be really stupid simple. He goes on to say, I do use crypto, however. It costs more to move around, costs more to spend, and to use. In most cases, you have to exchange it for fiat currency at an additional exchange fee. So that, I don't know if it actually costs more to move around. Because whether you're transferring $100 of cryptocurrency or $1 million of cryptocurrency, it costs actually the same. Because the amount of electricity to move those digits is not tied to the value of what you're transferring. It's just tied to the fact that the network is transferring it. So you pay the same for the electricity regardless of the amount of quote-unquote value that you're transferring over. Another friend tells me kind of depends on the amount. He actually prefers cash in hand. And I say, yeah, well, I want to emphasize that's cash in your hand and not just cash in hand. My thing about, in addition to that, I had my actual bank account frozen and zeroed out. Because I was a victim of a seizure as well. And it really hurt. The whole concept behind it, I said yes, significantly, because I had all my amount of money, kind of wiped out. And this was in a bank and the whole thing. And then to me, it was a scary wake-up call. It taught me that even in first world countries, and I'm not even going to like the third world dictatorships that, have an ironclad. I'm looking at you, Venezuela, with the amounts of money that your people are like pushing around in a wheelbarrow. The amount of money in the wheelbarrow is worth less than the wheelbarrow itself, type thing. The reality of overreach of a third-party intermediaries taking your wealth with no recourse is scary. It's scary. I'm not stupid. I do realize at this time one cannot purely exchange crypto for some of the services easily, like rent and utilities. I kind of said that. But even then, if there are ways to liquidate it if it's in your e-wallet. Coinbase is one. It does require kind of a know your customer, so it's in a hot wallet. Coinbase has your private keys, and it is in a hot wallet. There are some ATMs that are out there. I think there's one in Calamus Mall in Oregon here, that there's a crypto ATM, so you can actually withdraw and actually or buy cryptocurrency. It's Bitcoin mostly. And I think you can withdraw up to $3,000 a day if you have that amount in cryptocurrency. Anything more than that, you have to start signing forms for taxes and stuff like that. And so likely I would keep the majority of my holdings in an e-wallet, and Jack's wallet has the capability of shape-shifting. So you can actually buy other altcoins, and that's on the rise. I firmly believe that people will become fed up with the corrupt system of money and governance and third-party interlopers. And hopefully before they get their account frozen or wiped clean, by any human administration that feels justly or unjustly that they have a right to your wealth. And that's pretty much the crux of it. A person that is coming after you, wants to seize your bank account. Bill collectors might have a little bit more difficult time. They got to do a lot of due process, but I guarantee you, state taxes, IRS, they can do it like a hot knife through butter, and there would be no resistance. And that's kind of how it is. And as far as the exchange rate, I don't think that it's expensive as my friend thinks that it is. There is a cost to it, especially if you're shifting from one cryptocurrency to another altcoin, and then taking that and then shifting it into a bank account. They'll probably charge 2 to 5% on the exchange fees for the value of the money that you're actually you're actually putting into your account. So that's kind of that. And the last thing, and the real reason, is that I just feel that cryptocurrency has a greater potential to increase in value than the greenback or the dollar. And I have that understanding because if you go to a particular bank, and you put money into a savings account, which will probably give you 2-3% interest. If you have a checking account of a certain amount, it will be about maybe 1.5% or something like that. If you have a checking account below a certain amount, it's like there is no percentage that you get. And understand that percentage of money that you're getting from a savings account or a CD or even a high-end checking account pales in comparison to what the bank is actually utilizing that money for. They're turning around, they're putting it on a credit card, and they're charging 20, 25, sometimes 30% compounded, daily, and fees on credit cards and stuff like that. So they're making money hand over fist, and they're giving a little dibbles and dabs. Plus, your monies are always subject to being seized. And that's the problem. Now, when you consider inflation, and you say, well, I'll put all my fiat currency in a bank, I'll do a CD, I'll get maybe 2.5 or 3%, and that should hedge against inflation. And maybe it'll break even, or you won't lose as much, but you'll still lose because it's still hedging against inflation. And if anybody has any doubts that monies go bust or anything, just type in Venezuela bankruptcy or Venezuela like lack of money type thing, or just type in Venezuela. It's a mess down there. Their monies aren't even good. I mean, and that's a problem. So I just wanted to kind of go over and let everybody know that that was the question of the day. Given the choice, would you prefer to be paid in cryptocurrency instead of fiat currency? Why or why not? Leave your answers below if you have an answer to that, and let me know. And let me know the reason. Why or why not? I mean, maybe you think that cash is king. If you got big stacks of cash, I mean, let's face it. I mean, you could go anywhere and pretty much spend it. Not everybody is set up to receive cryptocurrency, but I don't think it's to that level yet. I don't think cryptocurrency and e-wallets are to the level where you can go to any vendor. Some vendors are receptive to it. Other people say, yeah, I can't spend that. But I think it's the whole idea behind the e-wallets. It's more of a holding pattern for your wealth that cannot be seized, cannot be taken over, unless, of course, you surrender your private keys and your mnemonic phrase. Then, whoever has access to that or knowledge of that can just take over your wallet. The only cure about that is that you could just instantiate another wallet and have new private keys and a new mnemonic phrase to reconstruct that wallet. But I've gabbed long enough. Just want to let you go now. Please press the likes if you like what you're seeing. Leave comments, particularly on the question. And this is D Wolf signing off.